You would probably use Easy Ease before, but imagine being able to see the speed change as a graph and edit it however you want, or see the change in properties value as a graph and edit them. So welcome on board to the next level of animating. To access Graph Editor, you need to click on the Graph Editor switch above the timeline panel. In the Graph Editor, by clicking on this icon and open that menu, you can choose whether to show a speed graph or value graph. The speed graph represents the rate of change of property over the times. You can accelerate or decelerate of your animation via adjusting these curves. For example, you can see here at yellow box, it says that 170 pixels per second, meaning that the subject moves 170 pixels every 1 second. Also, when we are applying easing on keyframes, for example, Easy Ease, this graph changes. Now, I'm switching to the value graph. In the value graph, you can manage the value of properties with the help of graphs. Let me go to another composition and explain some of the principles of value graph on that. The horizontal axis represents the time from left to right, and the vertical axis represents the value of the selected properties, such as position, rotation, opacity, and etc. Each keyframe is shown as a point on the graph, and when I select one, it's highlighted. You can see how properties change. The red graph is for X component of the position property, which is a straight horizontal line, and the green graph is for Y component of the position property. It can be seen that the star has only moved along the Y vector, so the X component is a constant. When I navigate mouse pointer near to the green graph, a small yellow box appears for me. Everything is written in this box. When I'm at first keyframe, it says to me that I'm at position 80 pixels at 0 second and 0 frame. And in the last keyframe at the third second, I'm at position 590 pixels. Note that this data is all for Y vector of position property. If I select the opacity property and its keyframes, you can clearly see that the opacity has gone from 100% to 0% and then back to the 100%. In the value graph, an upward slope indicates an increase in value of property and a downward slope indicates a decrease in value of property. Where the value graph remains a straight horizontal line, it indicates that the value of property has not changed during that time. You can easily change these properties by click and drag or create new keyframes. You can also use this transform box to change values and create more complex animations. If this transform box is not visible to you, click the Show Transform box at the bottom of the Graph Editor panel. To create new keyframe, as we always do, we place the CTI in the appropriate time and then click on the stopwatch icon and set the property value. The curvature of this graph indicates the rate of change of property. As you can see, I have applied the Easy Ease to all keyframes on this layer, so all the value graphs of these keyframes are Bezier graph. At the bottom of the Graph Editor panel, there are a few icons for displaying graphs in the larger sizes. If you select multiple keyframes and click the Fit Selection to View option, the Graph Editor will zoom enough so that the selected keyframes cover the entire view. I usually use the Fit All Graphs to View option. You will also see an eye icon at the bottom of the Graph Editor panel. If you click on it, you will see that the Show Selected Properties is checked. When this option is enabled, the value graph for each property you select will be shown to you. If you enable the Show Animated Properties, the value graph of all properties you have animated will be shown to you. In fact, you will see the value graph of all keyframes together. If you have used expressions in addition to keyframes for property, you may need to see the expressions next to the value graph. To do this, simply click on this icon and then enable the Show Expression Editor option from the Open That menu.